Hello everyone, welcome to our first practice together. If you're new here, my name is Krista, I'm the owner of Be Nice Yoga. This is my little puppy Emma. Actually, she's not a puppy, she's almost 9, and my 2 cats are probably going to roam around as well. So today we're going to move through a Metta Meditation practice. I teach this at my studio every Mondays at lunch hour, and I just feel like it's such a powerful practice to move through each week, but especially in everything that we're moving through right now in the world. It's just such a beautiful, loving practice. So we're going to start off by finding a seated position. Like myself, I like to sit up on a blanket. I do have a few props here as well. You're welcome to have those handy. But just having a seat on anything that feels comfortable and finding a cross-legged position if that works for you. Okay, Emma, time to chill. So I'm going to close my eyes for a little bit of this practice. You're always welcome to do the same if you feel safe to do so. For me, it's just a way to tune into my breath and drop a little bit deeper into my awareness. So let's get started and seated, softening the eyes and just rolling the shoulders down the back. We're going to start to notice our breath as it flows in and out through the nose. Giving yourself some time here just to ground down into your practice. I always like to take the first few moments of each practice to feel ourselves coming into our body, into our breath, into our space, wherever we're practicing. So for our metta practice, this is a practice that encourages us to feel loving kindness within ourselves and then spread that loving kindness outward. So I like to start this practice with a moment of gratitude. Here you can bring your hands together in prayer and connect your thumbs to your heart space, just bowing the head forward. As we feel into the connection between our hearts and our hands, I want you to feel into the energy of love, the energy of gratitude. Thinking of one thing that you're grateful for in this moment. Sometimes when we're in challenging moments, it's hard for us to tune into the energy of gratitude. Dig deep here. Find one thing that sparks joy in your heart. And then holding this gratitude in our heart space as an anchor for our practice. When you're ready, we'll drop our hands back down onto our knees. With the head bowed forward, you can take a moment to blink the eyes open. Returning back to the space. And then we're just going to take our time to come up to a standing position. And I'm going to stop this dog from going crazy. Cam, that's enough. Enough. So we're going to start our practice at the top of our mats. I want you to make sure your mat is cleared off so we don't have any tripping hazards here. Our metta practice is all about loving kindness. We move through 6 Sun Salutations, each one for a different person in our life. And then at the beginning, we say our metta prayer. So I'm just going to say it. You're welcome to say it at home. And then when I talk about the front of the mat, I'm going to talk about this area here, but I'm going to look at the camera so you can hear me. Let's find mountain pose, just bringing our feet right underneath our hips, shoulders rolling down the back and hands forward. Spending a few breaths here, just grounding into the feet and then pulling that rooted energy up into the body. We're feeling our quadriceps engage, our core is lifted, shoulders are soft. So to begin, let's bring our hands to prayer. Again, noticing that the shoulders are soft here. We're going to start our metta practice with our first Sun Salutation. So this Sun Salutation goes to ourselves. Let's take a deep breath in and out. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. From this position, we're going to take a big breath in to reach up to the sky. And on the exhale, I'd like you to fold into the legs, hands towards the mat. Inhale here, we're going to halfway lift, lengthen out. On our exhale, let's plant the hands, step ourselves back to a high plank position and drop to your knees. Feeling the hands into the shoulders, we're going to exhale to lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting up through the chest. On the exhale, let's plant the hands and just shift back to a child's pose for our first sun salutation. So keeping in mind this idea of loving kindness in our heart space. Breathing in loving kindness, breathing out loving kindness for 5 deep breaths. 2 more deep breaths here. And then from our child's pose, we're going to feel our hands gripping the mat. And inhale just to return up to a tabletop position. Plant the hands and tuck the toes, lifting the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. So spending a few breaths here, just pedaling the heels down to the earth. This is our transition up to standing. Let's inhale, bend the knees, and walk our feet forward. Exhale to fold as we arrive. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky, press the palms. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center at prayer. I always joke that this point in our practice is our hike our pants up, pull our shirt down moment. But let's just find mountain pose, hands at prayer, and shoulders soft. So from here, we're going to move into our second sun salutation. Our second sun salutation goes out to someone in our lives that inspires us. Can be a spiritual leader or a teacher. Can be someone that really, really opens our heart space up. Let's take a deep breath in and out. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. Resting the hands down, we're going to inhale to sweep up to the sky, finding a deep breath in and exhaling to fold over the legs, hands to the earth. Inhale, let's halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands here, step back to a high plank and drop to your knees. We're going to modify this one more time. Exhale, lower tricep push-up down. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting up. And exhale, plant the hands, pressing back to a child's pose. For 5 deep breaths. So again, feeling into the energy of that person that you're sending your sun salutation to and breathing here. Inhaling loving kindness and exhaling loving kindness for 3 more breaths. Nice work, everyone. From here, we're going to inhale up to tabletop. And tuck the toes and lift the hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog is our transition. We'll bend the knees, step the feet forward. And on our exhale, we're going to fold. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky, reach and press the palms. And exhale the hands back to heart center, prayer pose. Spending a few breaths here, grounding back down. Really noticing how we're feeling emotionally, physically. We'll keep our hands in our heart space, moving into our third sun salutation. So this one goes out to someone in our lives that we love. Feeling this person's energy in your heart space. Let's take a deep breath in and out. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. Inhale, let's sweep up to the sky, reaching and lengthening. Exhale, diving into the legs. Inhale, let's halfway lift, lengthen out. On our exhale, we're going to plant the hands, step back to a high plank. This time your option is knees or toes. I'm still going to modify here as we exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting up. Exhale from here, press back. So this time your option is downward facing or a child's pose for 5 deep breaths. If you're up in a downward dog with me, our knees are bent, our hips are lifting up to the sky, and the arms are strong and straight. We've got 3 more breaths here. Nice work, everyone. Let's find downward facing if we weren't there already. And inhale to lift the heels, bending the knees, step the feet forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up to the sky, press the palms. And then exhaling, hands to prayer once again. Okay, so our little moment to adjust. Shirt down, pants up. We'll bring our hands back to prayer. We're moving on to our fourth sun salutation. So this one goes to someone that's neutral in our lives. Okay, this is a really important sun salutation to move through as it reminds us the power of loving kindness to those that we aren't attached to. Bringing that person in your heart space, feeling their loving energy. And then from here, we're going to inhale to reach up to the sky. On our exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale, let's halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk yourself back to a high plank and drop the knees. We're still modifying our chaturanga as we exhale to lower to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, shift up to downward facing. Option here is your child's pose. We're holding our down dog for 5 deep breaths. Feeling the knees bending, hips lifting, shoulders softening away from the ears. 3 more inhales and exhales here. Let's inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step the feet forward. And we're going to exhale to fold. Inhale brings you back up to standing. Reach and press the palms. And let's exhale into prayer pose with the hands. Few deep breaths here. Fifth sun salutation goes to someone in our lives that we're struggling with. So in this time of uncertainty, you may be feeling more fear and more struggle in your heart space. I want you to dig deep and really feel into that person's energy. So with this sun salutation, honor the process. Honor whatever emotions are coming along with it. And just remember to breathe through it. Let's take a deep breath in and out. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. Inhale as you reach up to the sky, lengthening out. And exhale brings you forward. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let's plant the hands, step back to a high plank. Drop your knees. We're still modifying here as we exhale, tricep push-up down. Inhale, baby cobra, little lift up through the chest. And then exhale, downward dog, child's pose option for 5 deep breaths. Okay, feeling into a little bit of movement here. Honoring where you're at in your heart space. Few more deep breaths. Feeling that loving kindness for the person you're struggling with flow in and out. In and out. Nice work, everyone. Let's inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. We're going to step the feet forward and find an exhale to fold. Inhale brings you back up to standing. Reach and press the palms. And exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment here to find your mountain pose. Feeling grounded. We're moving into our last and final sun salutation. This is our 6th sun salutation. And this one is so beautiful and so important. It goes out to every being everywhere. So I want you to feel that in your heart space, remembering that we have the capacity to send out loving kindness to every being everywhere. Let's take a big breath in and out. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. Let's take a deep breath in to reach up to the sky. And exhale brings you forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We're stepping back to a low plank once again. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chest. And on your exhale, we're transitioning back to a child's pose or a downward dog for 5 deep breaths. Okay, finding some movement here so that you feel open through the back body line. And then settling into stillness for a few more breaths. Shoulders are soft. From here, we're going to inhale to lift the heels, bend the knees, and step the feet forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale brings you back up to standing. Reach and press. Exhale, hands to prayer at the heart space. Let's find ourselves back in our mountain pose at the top of our mats. Hands to prayer. Taking a few breaths here just to ground into the feet. Noticing how you're feeling after those sun salutations, after moving through a loving kindness practice. Let's rest our hands down beside our hips. So we're going to move through a few different standing postures now, and then into a little bit of stretch to close our practice. So coming up towards the top of your mat, hands just out beside the hips. This is our mountain pose, our home base. Let's take a big breath in to reach the arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to dive forward into the legs. From here, I want you to inhale to halfway lift. And then exhale, plant the hands, step your right foot back. Keep the back knee lifted, strong left leg as we inhale to sweep up to a high lunge. Shoulders are soft, finding your core here. If you're wobbly like me, we need to engage our core a little bit more. We're strong through the legs, strong through the arms, deep breath here. And then from our high lunge, we're going to drop our back heel and transition to a warrior 2. So our back leg is strong and straight, our shoulders are floating over our hips. And our arms are reaching. A few more breaths here in a warrior 2. And then from our warrior 2, let's bring our left arm down as we reach our right arm up and over. This is called side angle as we lengthen out our right side body. Still staying nice and low through the hips. Strong through our legs for 3 more breaths. Beautiful. So from here, what we're going to do is take our right hand inside the left foot, spin up onto the right toes, and twist our lunge by reaching the left arm to the sky. Okay, so hips are sinking nice and low. If you need a modification, the back knee drops. And we're breathing here into a twisted lunge. 2 more inhales and exhales. From this position, let's take our left hand inside the left foot, tuck the back toes, and inhale to pick up the back knee, stepping into downward facing dog for a few deep breaths, pedaling the heels or finding stillness right away. This is a nice little stretch through the legs, back body line. From this position, let's inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and step forward. We're going to exhale to fold. Inhale brings us all the way up to standing. Press the palms and exhale back into our mountain pose. Take a moment here just to ground down. And then we're going to switch sides. Let's inhale, reach back up, lengthening out. Exhale, deep dive into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to bring our hands towards the mat and step our left foot back. Watch out, Emmy. From here, we're transitioning to a high lunge. Let's inhale up to the sky. So shoulders are soft as we reach up and lengthen. Your core is engaged. Your right leg is strong. A few more breaths here. From this position, let's drop our left heel to the earth, reaching our arms out and bending into our right knee. This is our warrior 2 pose. Strong, straight arms, shoulders floating over the hips. We're breathing deeply. From warrior 2, let's transition to side angle, right arm down. Hips stay low as we reach the left arm up and over. Breathing into that length. Deep inhales and exhales here. Our last pose of this sequence is our twisted lunge. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths before we transition. And then taking your left hand, sweeping it inside the right foot, And transitioning to twisted lunge by reaching the right arm up. You can drop your back knee to the mat if you need a modification. A few more breaths here, breathing into the chest, breathing into the hips. And then from here, we're going to exhale our right hand inside the right foot. Let's tuck the toes, lift the knee, and press back to downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here as we maraud around in downward facing. So from here, we're all going to lift the heels, but just bend the knees. If you've got a blanket or any sort of cushion to bring underneath the knees, let's set that up now. And we're going to work on our hands and knees for the next few postures. So let's find our knees under the blanket. Hands directly under the shoulders. We're going to start by marauding the body around, so just wagging the hips side to side. And then let's flow through a few cat-cow poses. Taking a big breath in to drop the belly as we lift up the tail and the gaze. On our exhale, we're going to tilt the tailbone under and tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly, lifting both ends up. Exhale to curl. Let's flow through a few more of these at our own pace. Feeling the front body open on our inhale and the back body open on our exhale. Let's find a neutral spine the next time we exhale to release. Bringing the right hand out in front of us. Keeping the left hand planted as we inhale into a twisted table. Let's exhale and thread the needle. So what I'd like you to do is bring your right cheek to the mat, press into the left hand, and open up through the upper back and shoulder. 3 deep breaths here. Planting into the left hand, we take a deep breath in to sweep the right arm back up. And on our exhale, we're going to reach the right arm forward, palm towards the mat. From here, I want you to sink your hips back, keeping the right arm reaching, and then sink back into a child's pose, forehead grounds. In this child's pose variation, we're focusing on our right shoulder as well as the right side body, really breathing into the hips as well for 2 more breaths. Let's find both arms reaching out in front and inhale, pull ourselves up to table. Resetting the knees and the hands to find them stacked under the joints. Keeping the right hand where it is, we're going to inhale the left arm up to the sky. Twisted table, and exhale, let's thread the needle, shoulder and chest opener. Left cheek comes to the mat. We press into the right hand as we open up. Breathing deeply into our chest and our upper back as well as that left shoulder. Let's plant our right hand and inhale to reach up to the sky. Twisted table once again. Exhale your left arm out in front. We're transitioning back to our child's pose with an emphasis on the left arm and left side body. Forehead grounds, our hips are heavy, and we're breathing here. Nice work, everyone. Let's inhale, pull ourselves up to table. Take a moment to wag the hips side to side. We're going to enter the next few poses from our tabletop position. If you know it's easier to enter a lunge from down dog, you can take that option as well. So modified option is our tabletop position. Let's inhale, reach the right leg back behind us. And then exhale, step the foot through the hand. So I need to just help my foot forward. We're stacking our right knee over our right ankle and just coming to frame the foot with the hands. Taking some time here to breathe into your left hip. Okay, lengthening out that left leg. So from here, we're going to inhale, walk the hands back, finding yourself in a hamstring stretch. Okay, so if you have a block at home, I know if you have a block at home, it's really nice to use underneath the hands here. I'll show you that variation. You can stack the block on either end and just lengthen out the arms by having the hands rest on the block. Toes lift up to the sky. We're focusing on the belly of our hamstring muscle. Hey, baby girl. Nice work, everyone. Let's release the block and slowly walk ourselves back to our low lunge. From here, we're going to twist our lunge one more time. So heel toe, the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Left hand can plant on the mat or your block. And we're going to inhale, the right arm up to the sky. Sinking the hips forward. Let's take 3 big arm circles here. Reach towards the front of the space, the earth, the back, and then the sky. 2 more times. Just releasing out through the shoulder all while we're working through the hips as well. 2 more here. Nice. Let's meet with our right arm up to the sky. Last one is our dragon pose. Bring the hands inside the foot. Okay, so foot is still out on the outer edge of the mat, and we're continuing to sink the hips forward. Breathing into our left hip flexor, the outside of our right hip. Nova, what's up, honey? Beautiful. So let's plant our hands. Release the block if you're using one, and just step the right leg back behind you. Tuck the toes and press the heel. So we're lengthening out through our calf and our back body line. And then we'll go ahead and drop back to table. Switching sides, let's inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knee, walk it forward. Stepping it through the hands. And then just giving yourself a moment to set up a low lunge. The hips are sinking, the knee is stacked over the ankle. And we're breathing into that release through the pelvis. From this position, let's inhale, walk back to our hamstring stretch. So gentle bend through the knee here. Toes lift up to the sky. Use your block if you need it. We're focusing right in the middle of our hamstring muscle for a few more deep breaths. Beautiful. Let's slowly walk ourselves back down to a low lunge. We're going to keep ourselves in this low lunge position and heel to our foot to the outer edge of the mat. Finding a twisted lunge, right hand can plant on the mat or the block. The left arm reaches up to the sky, twisting open. 3 big circles with the arm. Let's reach it forward to the earth and then up to the sky 2 more times. Beautiful. Let's meet with our left arm reaching. And then exhale, bring it inside the left foot, block under the hands. Another nice option here. Few deep breaths in our dragon pose, opening up our right hip flexor outside of our left hip. Nice work, everyone. Let's plant the hands. We're going to tuck the toes this time, and if you can, transition back to tabletop or to a downward facing dog. Okay, lifting one heel up at a time, walking the dog. Trying not to upset the cat too much. Nice work. Let's all bend the knees. We're going to find ourselves in a seated position, so just crossing at the ankles, rolling onto the bum. Now here I always like to roll up my blanket for all of our seated positions, and I'm going to turn to face you. So we're going to start our seated sequence with a butterfly pose. Let's bring our feet together and drop our knees apart. Okay, finding a tall spine here, lengthening out. I like to take a deep breath in to reach up to the sky. And on the exhale, fold into the legs. Hands towards the feet or the earth as we just fold forward. So butterfly is a nice posture to be able to move the body side to side and release the low back. And give yourself permission to ease into this one. It works on the hips, it works on the low back, and we can be a little bit stiff, especially if we're doing this midday. We've got a few more breaths here. Nice work. Let's inhale, roll all the way back up. We're going to take our time and drop the shoulders away from the ears and set ourselves up for head to knee pose. So the left leg is going to stay where it is as we straighten out the right leg. If I'm not sure what the mirroring situation is with the video, so just make sure your right leg is straight and your left knee is bent. We're going to take a big breath in to reach up to the sky, again with that length, and then exhale to drape forward. So Our head to knee pose, our forehead is dropping towards the knee. This is just the direction we're moving in. We're lengthening out our back body line through the right side, coming into the left hip, and then just really breathing into that release for a few more inhales and exhales. Nice job, everyone. Let's inhale to slowly come back up to seated. Roll the shoulders once again down the back. We're going to spin our right leg back behind us. So this is called deer pose with the legs. Taking a big breath in to reach the right arm up to the sky. We're going to exhale it across to the left knee and find the left hand walking back behind us. This is a spinal twist, so we're feeling length on the inhale, and we're feeling a twist on the exhale. Breathing as well into the hips. Few more inhales and exhales here into the spine. Let's inhale ourselves slowly back to center. We're going to keep our legs as they are for one last pose. So grabbing your block, if you have one, under the left hand. This is called mermaid pose. So we're going to keep our feet and our knees grounded and just use an inhale to press the hips up off our mat, reaching the right arm up and then over. So here you're going to feel an openness through your right quad, your hip flexor, all the way through the front body. Giving yourself permission to breathe in mermaid for a few more breaths. Exhale to slowly lower back down. Nice work, everyone. So taking a moment just to unwind the legs. You can give them some movement. You can straighten them out. I like to find a straight leg pose after that. Just a little back body stretch. And then we're going to start it all over again with our butterfly pose. Let's bring our feet together, knees apart, and take a big breath in to reach up to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Hello, Bruce. We're going to hang out again into our hips and our low back. Maybe this time you can drop a little bit deeper into the pose. Nice work, everyone. Let's inhale to roll back up to seated. Take your time. And then the shoulders roll down the back. We're going to keep our right leg folded in and straighten our left leg out. Coming into our head to knee pose once again. Let's inhale up to the sky and exhale into a forward fold. Hands towards the mat, towards your foot, whatever works for you to lengthen out your back body line on the left side. Few more inhales and exhales, feeling that length and release through the belly of your hamstring. Let's inhale, slowly come back up. Roll the shoulders down. We're going to take our left leg and sweep it back behind us for our deer twist once again. So right leg stays folded in, left leg back behind. Let's inhale the left arm up and exhale it across to our right knee. Using the breath here, the inhale lengthens you out. The exhale twists you a little bit deeper. You guys, come on. Nova. Nice work, everyone. Let's slowly come back to our center. Keep the legs as they are. We're going to do one more here. So this is our mermaid pose. Hand plants onto the block is a really nice option. Knees and feet stay grounded as we just gently lift our hips. So inhale, lift up the hips, reach your left arm up and back this time. So if you can, actively shifting your hips forward, focusing on your left hip flexor as well as the quadricep. And then nice slow release back to our seated position. We're going to take our time to unwind the legs. Again, I like to straighten them out in front. Always adjusting the shirt and pants. So just take some time if you want to drop into a caterpillar pose. Forward fold. And then from here, we're going to slowly roll ourselves back up, pull our knees in, and give ourselves a big hug. You can wrap your arms around or underneath the knees, depending on how you're feeling here, and drop the forehead in towards the knees. The last few moments of our practice are going to be on our back and then just gently rolling back. We'll hug our knees into our chest and drop the knees side to side, giving yourself some time and space just to stretch the body as you need to. Okay, so you can find some twists on your back. You can find a legs up the wall, any sort of stretch that you need. I'm going to give everyone about 10 deep breaths to set themselves up for rest today. Excuse me, I need this. So giving yourself about 5 more breaths to move into any last postures, any last stretches that you'd like. And then for the rest of our class, where you're resting on your back, just listening to the sound of my voice as I talk you through a short meditation and bring you out. Okay, so as we find ourselves resting on the back, let's take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So making sure you feel comfortable, you feel supported, and you feel grounded on your back. A few options for a rest today is either planting the feet, bending the knees. If you have a pillow at home, you can rest under the knees. That's a nice option. Feeling grounded through the shoulders. If you want, you can turn the palms to the earth. We're just going to spend the remainder of our practice resting, breathing, allowing ourselves to unwind. So these moments of stillness, these moments of silence, I want you to tune into the energy of gratitude, just like we did at the beginning of our practice. What are you feeling in your heart space? How does it feel to think of gratitude? What are you grateful for in this moment? Giving yourself permission to be in this moment without rushing off to the rest of your day or back into the worry and the panic. Let's be here in this space. This is such an important aspect of our yoga practice, giving our bodies a chance to rest after our practice today. And then from here, let's spend some time working with the breath, taking a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting go of your practice, letting go of all of the sun salutations we moved through, and just really allowing yourself some space to be. And then with that breath moving a bit deeper now, maybe noticing a little bit of movement through the body, through the hands and the feet first, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Taking a full body stretch to reach up to the sky, feeling every muscle engage on the inhale and soften to release on the exhale. Being mindful to find movement back into the body. Whatever feels best for you. You can hug the knees to the chest. You can find a happy baby pose if that's comfortable and safe in the body. You can just rock around. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our knees in towards our chest, please. Find yourself rocking from side to side and then rock up to a seated position. Excuse me, once you arrive back in your seated position, let's cross at the ankles, roll the shoulders down the back. We're going to bring our hands to prayer. So for the last little part of our practice, we're going to say the Metta prayer and then close. Let's take a deep breath in and out. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. The light in me honors the light in each one of you. Thank you for a truly beautiful practice. I know it's quite different than our usual. I just wanted to say that this metta practice is a really beautiful one to come back to if you're feeling into that fear, if you're feeling a little bit worried or afraid or overwhelmed. Let's come back to our heart center. Let's come back to our loving kindness and then spread it out to the world. Many blessings.
Namaste.